Namaste, Kumar.
Namaste, Akka. Let's start with 3 ohms. Please take a deep breath. Om. Om. Prabhatam, Sarvebhyah, Namaste, Namo Namaha, depending on where you are. Yes, Kranti, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning, everyone. Om Yogena Chittasya Padena Vacham Malam Sharirasya Cha Vaidyakena Yopakarottam Pravaram Muninam Patanjalim Pranjaliranatosmi Abahu Purushakaram Shankhachakrasiddharinam Sahasrashirasam Shvetam Pranamami Patanjalim Shrimate Anantaya Nagarajaya Namo Namaha Atha Sadhana Padaha Tapaha Swadhyaya Ishvara Pranidhanani Kriya Yogaha Samadhi Bhavanarthaha Klesha Tanu Karnarthascha Avidya Asmita Raga Dvesha Abhiniveshaha Kleshaha Avidya Kshetram Uttaresham Prasupta Tanu Vichinna Udaranam Anitya Ashuchi Dukkha Anatmasu नित्य शुचि सुख आत्मख्यातिः अविद्या दृग्दर्शनशक्त्योः एकात्मता इव अस्मिता सुखानुशयी रागः दुःखानुशयी द्वेषः स्वरसवाही विदुषोऽपि समारूढः अभिनिवेशः ते प्रतिप्रसवहेयाः सूक्ष्माः ध्यानहेयाः तत्वृत्तयः क्लेशमूलः कर्माशयो दृष्टादृष्टजन्म वेदनीयः सति मूले तद्विपाको जात्यायुर्भोगाः ते लादपरितापफलाः पुण्यहेतुत्वात् परिणामताप संस्कारदुःखै गुणवृत्तिविरोधाच्च दुःखमेव सर्वं विवेकिनः हेयं दुःखमनागतम् द्रष्टृदृश्ययो संयोगो हेयहेतुः प्रकाशाक्रियास्थितिशीलं भूतेन्द्रियात्मकं भोगापवर्गार्थं दृश्यम् विशेषाविशेषलिङ्गमात्रालिङ्गानि गुणपर्वाणि द्रष्टा दृशिमात्रः शुद्धोऽपि प्रत्ययानुपश्यः तदर्थ एव दृश्यस्य आत्मा कृतार्थं प्रतिनष्टम् अपि अनष्टं तदन्यसाधारणत्वात् स्वस्वामिशक्त्योः स्वरूपोपलब्धिहेतुः संयोगः तस्य हेतुः अविद्या तद्भावात् संयोगाभावो हानं तत्तृषे कैवल्यं विवेकख्यातिः अविप्लवा हानोपायः तस्य सप्तधा प्रान्तभूमिः प्रज्ञा योगाङ्गानुष्ठानात् अशुद्धिक्षये ज्ञानदीप्तिः आविवेकख्यातेः यम नियम आसन प्राणायाम प्रत्याहार धारणा ध्यान समाधयः अष्टौ अङ्गानि अहिंसा सत्य अस्तेय ब्रह्मचर्य अपरिग्रहाः यमाः जाति देश काल समय अनवच्छिन्नाः सार्वभौमाः महाव्रतम् शौच संतोष तपः स्वाध्याय ईश्वरप्रणिधानानि नियमाः वितर्कबाधने प्रतिपक्षभावनम् वितर्काः हिंसादयः कृत कारिता अनुमोदिताः लोभ क्रोध मोहपूर्वकाः मृदु मध्य अधिमात्राः दुःख अज्ञान अनन्तफलाः इति प्रतिपक्षभावनम् अहिंसा प्रतिष्ठायां तत्सन्निधौ वैरत्यागः सत्य प्रतिष्ठायां क्रियाफल आश्रयत्वम् अस्तेय प्रतिष्ठायां सर्वरत्न उपस्थानं ब्रह्मचर्य प्रतिष्ठायां वीर्यलाभः अपरिग्रहस्थैर्ये जन्म कथं था सम्बोधः शौचात् स्वाङ्गजुगुप्सा परैरसंसर्गः सत्त्वशुद्धि सौमनस्य ऐकाग्रय इन्द्रियजय आत्मदर्शन योग्यत्वानि च संतोषात् अनुत्तमः सुखलाभः कायेन्द्रियसिद्धि अशुद्धिक्षयात् तपसः स्वाध्यायात् इष्टदेवता संप्रयोगः समाधिसिद्धिः ईश्वरप्रणिधानात्. Thank you.
Thank you, Kranti. So, let's go back. We covered up to Sutra 229, I think, last week. So, the first two sutras, we saw what is Kriya Yoga. And we saw Kriya Yoga as an active yoga where you use the method of tapas, swadhyaya, and Ishvara pranidhanani. So these three together is called Kriya Yoga. And the reason and the intent of Kriya Yoga is to attain samadhi. So using understanding that the body we have taken contains kleshas, and to use this body to remove those kleshas, because the chitta has kleshas. So with that understanding, we do this tapas, swadhyaya, ishvara pranidhanani to burn away the kleshas and karmas to attain samadhi. So that's the summary of the first two sutras. So since he spoke about kleshas, he then comes and explains what are the 5 types of kleshas: avidya, asmita, raga, dvesha, abhinivesha. And we know that avidya is at the top of the stack, and it could be in various ways. It could be dormant, it could be broken up, it could be fully blown, etc. So based on that, based on how it is at different times of our life, we behave that way. So avidya is incorrect perception of life. So that's what avidya is all about. So then he is explaining what does avidya do to us. Avidya is making us believe that all that is impermanent as permanent, all that is impure as pure, all that is dukkha as happiness or a good feeling. That's what it does. And whatever is not good to the core of you it makes it feel as if it is atmic, or it is the most good, best thing for you. So this is what avidya does. This is the veil that avidya puts on us. Then we spoke about asmita, which is that the I amness as an observer. That is the asmita, as opposed to abhinivesha, which is also I, but I as the doer. Okay, so these are the two differences between asmita and abhinivesha. Sukham, from the feeling of sukha, that which follows from a sense of joy or pleasure is raga or desire. From the sense of sorrow comes dvesha. Abhinivesha is the sense we already saw, which also, is a sense that I am the doer. And this even takes vidushis, wise people also on a ride. That's also we saw. And before we go on, I want to give you a quick idea that, first two sutras are about Kriya Yoga. Sutra from 3 to 9 is talking about various types of impurities, that is kleshas, that need to be dealt with, that we have to deal with. And then from Sutra 10 to 25, talk about how to deal with these impurities and their natural tendencies. All these impurities, how they are, and what are the natural tendencies, and how to get over them. And the way it is done is the progression leading to non-reactiveness takes one to liberation. That's what we saw as Kaivalya. In Sutra 27, I believe, we saw how this non-reactiveness will get us to Kaivalya. Sutra 26 and 27 complete the complete journey from one non-reactiveness to awakening of knowledge, attaining the state of realization. Sutra 27 to 29 actually introduce us to the concept of Ashtanga Yoga as a systematic way to accomplish the process described in the earlier sutras. So that's where we got up to Sutra 29. But let us go on and see what we did here. From Sutra 10 to 25, 10 to 14. So we saw that by subtle opposition, we can counter the kleshas. That is what we say is pratiprasad, right? So what are the different ways by which you can oppose? Gentle ways to oppose is through dhyana. You can oppose it. The kleshas can be opposed through dhyana. The root klesha. So the next few sutras, the 12, 13, and 14, is talking about the laws of karma. 12 to 14 is talking about laws of karma. How the root klesha with which we are born and with the supporting karmas cause sufferings or experiences in this birth that are seen and not seen. Okay. So in this birth, it is causing difficulties, or it can bring happiness too. And similarly, it is going to cause in future births also. So that's what it is saying. So from the roots of destruction, Sati Mule, the next sutra, from the roots of destruction, that is at the end of life, at the end of lifetime, it fruitions. So all this karma and kleshas, at the end of lifetime, it fruitions in the species or race of the next birth. So the jati, ayu, bhogaha is based on the karma of based on the karma that we accumulated in the previous birth and births. That's what it is saying. So these are all laws of karma is being explained in 12 to 14. So the experience of birth, of this birth, could be pleasurable or miserable based on the fruit caused by punya, pleasant memories of the past, or the apunya, regrets of the past. So what we experience now is based on how we reacted in the earlier births. That's what it is saying. So these are the really the laws of karma. And then sutras 15 through 17. Uh, it is understanding the cause of karma and rebirth. So understanding the cause of karma and rebirth. So what we are saying here is a discriminative person, a person who has that intelligence, that intuitive awareness, sees everything as, understands everything to be miserable, coming from the result of miserable samskaras. Miserable samskaras are going to bring miserable things. And opposing the expression of gunas, that is, the gunas, the flow of energy, makes us react in certain ways. Instead of opposing them, what we have to do is we have to let them flow through us and be an observer. So if you try to oppose them, you're going to acquire karma. That's what it is saying. And which will come back in the form of miserable experiences in the future births. So that way, in the next sutra, he says in 16, Heyam Dukkam Anagatam. So one seeks to oppose all the miseries that have not yet come by having this awareness, by letting the cosmic energies flow through us and not reacting to anything. And even these gunas, all these three gunas we say, Rajo, Tama, and Sattva guna, we let them flow through us, but being an observer, not preventing anything from happening. So this is what we saw up to that. In having seen that, in 17 and 18, we are really seeing how to understand the concept of being an observer and experiencer, observer and experiencer, and not a doer. And when we do this, we are going to see the energies flowing through us as luminous energy, which is sattva guna, the inert energy, which is tamo guna, and the highly vibrating guna as rajo guna. Okay, that's what we are going to see. And these gunas, we see in the next few sutras, that the spread of the guna are specific, non-specific, nominal, or without characteristics. We saw in detail last week what these are. See, specific means when you are associating yourself with the gunas. When you associate yourself with the gunas, you are going to react. That's what it means. That is, you're being a doer all the time. That is, you're in abhinivesha. It is all specific. You're going to associate yourself with the gunas. Non-specific is when you become an observer. When you become an observer. When you say nominal, you understand that other person is, whatever is causing these things in you, you understand this is coming from their own kleshas and karmas and the flow. And the fourth one, which is without characteristics, is even going above that and seeing all these three in all the things around us. This is what it is talking about in Sutras 19 through 21. And 22 through 29 is what we covered last week. So here we are learning to dissociate with the system activity caused by inherent impurities in us, and to make us one a pure observer on the path to liberation. So that's what we saw in these sutras, how we oppose all this because of the normally different perception. Normal people, we always calculate life as profit and loss. Every activity, every relationship, we see it as profit and loss. So, and we also see that because of my own energies only, I beget everything in this life. Only my effort alone brings me all this. So we are seeing all the nashtam and anashtam as due to ourselves. So, and we are saying that this kind of thinking is caused by avidya, or a lack of correct perception. So this is there for all of us. So very easy to understand. This does not mean that you have to sit at home doing nothing. Certainly not. So please understand that. But to give up this idea that only through me, only I am making things happen. So that alone to be given up, to be understood, and to be aware of that. So in the next few sutras, we are seeing how in actually sutras 25 through 27, 26 actually, we are seeing how by just by being very aware, and we can get to the state of kaivalyam, because we have constantly, we are non-reactive, just letting the gunas flow through us, and being non-reactive, come to the state of kaivalyam. In the next three sutras, that is 27, 28, and 29, we are actually saying that how to attain this kaivalyam, how Ashtanga Yoga provides a methodology by which we can get to kaivalyam. That's what we see in 27 through 29. That's where we ended, saying yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, samadaya. Ashtau angani. So the 8 parts of Ashtanga Yoga are yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, and samadhi. Samadhi is the final state. So to get to the state of samadhi, one has to cross 7 boundaries. That's what we saw. Saptadaha. In Sutra 27 we saw tasya saptadaha pranta bhrumihi prajna. Prajna is that samadhi. So to get to the state of samadhi, you have to cross 7 boundaries. And 7 boundaries, when you cross 7 boundaries, there are 8 parts to that, right? If you put 7 cuts, there are 8 parts, right? So that's why he's listing this. So that's where we were last week, right? We ended with that. Any questions up to here? Everyone is quiet. Okay. So let us see what yama is. Ahimsa, satya, asteya, brahmacharya, aparigraha, yamaha. He says yama. Yama is living true to your conscience. That's what yama means. Yama means living true to your conscience. Niyama means a daily schedule, in a very a schedule that you follow on a daily basis. So those are the 2 things. And actually, if you follow yama and niyama fully, without any change on a regular basis, both yama and niyama, you will get to the state of samadhi automatically. That is the greatness of this yama and niyama. So let us see. Ahimsa, satya, asteya, brahmacharya, aparigraha, yamaha. So ahimsa is being non-violent or avoiding violence, avoiding wanton violence. That is ahimsa. Satya is truthfulness, being truthful, speaking the truth. Brahmacharya, asteya is non-stealing, not stealing is asteya. Brahmacharya is having that curiosity, to know, to learn. That is why it is called brahmacharya. That is why the first stage in life is called brahmacharya. There are 4 stages in life: brahmacharya, grahastha-ashrama, vanaprastha, and sannyasa. These are the 4 ashramas or 4 stages in life: brahmacharya, grahastha-ashrama, vanaprastha, and sannyasa. Brahmacharya is the stage when you are acquiring all the skills that are necessary to run your life. Approximately, if you take, say, 80 to 100 years of life, each one is 20 to 25 years. So the second stage is a grahastha-ashrama, where you become you set up a career for you. You get into a family. Graha, it's not from graham, it is grahastha-ashrama is actually from you're under the influence of grahas, the various planetary forces. That's what it means, really speaking. So, so you actually becomes involved in the family life. You get children and all that. So then the third stage. So by 50 or 55, or at least by 60, you get to the stage of vanaprastha. Vanaprastha means actually it means going to the vanam. Vanam means the forest. What do you do? What is the meaning of going to a forest? Meaning you slowly start getting to a stage of detachment from the worldly life. You have enjoyed all this for 50, 60 years, and now you understand there is something bigger, and you want to think of those higher dimensions of life. So it really does not mean that you have to go to the vana or to the forest, but to have that kind of a detachment from the family life where you're living itself. And the third stage is sannyasa, where you become a complete renunciate, meaning becoming completely, fully aware of this complete and total detachment. It doesn't mean you have to run to the forest with saffron clothes. Definitely not. Sannyasa, one can be a sannyasa at home with the family. That complete detachment is the key for that. So these are the 4 stages of life. And brahmacharya is the first stage, which is based on that curiosity to learn. And brahmacharya can happen in smaller quantities all through the life. Actually, in vanaprastha and in sannyasa, again it takes a much bigger meaning, but you're looking at other things in life, higher dimensions. Even in grahastha-ashrama, it can be here and there. Whenever you get time, you're going to have this curiosity to learn. Aparigraha, we saw asteya, we saw brahmacharya, we saw aparigraha is non-covetedness. That is, not wanting others' property, not seeking to get others' property. So as you can see here in the notes, he says yamas are not hurting others, truthfulness, being truthful to always being truthful, not stealing, curiosity to learn is brahmacharya, and not being covetous, not being possessive. Whatever you see, you don't want to possess. See, the comparison, jealousy leads to that possessiveness. You see 10 dresses in the store, you want to possess all of them. You see 25 dresses somewhere else, you want to possess all. I don't know if I said this in the class. The first time I went to a departmental store. The moment I saw the way it was arranged, I wanted to grab everything. I wanted to grab everything. It was so well displayed because there was no such store in India at that time. There were no departmental stores. Now, so nicely presented, everything. I wanted to grab everything that was there in every shelf, every item. So that is that possessiveness. Even when we go to the store, in India, generally you buy vegetables just for a day. Here, when you go, you buy for 2 weeks. Even if the store is nearby, you still buy it for at least for a week. It may be for convenience, but many times we'll say, oh, this may not be available, so buy 4 packs instead of 1 pack. And then finally we'll throw away 2 packs because the expiry date or whatever has happened. So those kinds of things. And he says, is this clear? Is this sutra clear?
Yes.
Ete, those. Ete means those. Those. What is those? Ahimsa, Satya, Asteya, Brahmacharya, Parigraha. The yamas. Those. Jati, Desha, Kala, Samaya, Anavichannaha, Sarva, Sarva, Bhauma, Sarva, Bhauma, Mahavratam. So, what is he saying here? Let us see that word by word. Jati. We saw quite a bit on Jati, didn't we? Can anyone tell me what Jati is? Do you remember? Okay.
Circumstances of birth.
Yeah, circumstance of birth, where you are born, where one is born. That also includes the race of birth, the race, whatever. Circumstances of birth, correct. Desha, the country or kingdom where you are born. Kala. Kala is the time. Time meaning the epoch that you are born. Time or time period that you are born. Anavichannaha. That is the next one. Anavichannaha means unbroken or uninterrupted, not separated. We can give all these meanings. Anavichannaha means unbroken. Like what we saw earlier in one of the sutras, right? We saw that Nairantarya, Satkara Sevito. Nairantarya, we said, we called as uninterrupted, unbroken. So, Anavichannaha is another word meaning the same thing, unbroken. Sarva Bhauma. That is, this is applicable everywhere, in every place, at all times. That's what it means. Or universal. Mahavratam means a great vow or great observance. Vratam, we know, it's a vow, right? Like yesterday, not yesterday, day before was Varalakshmi Vratam. So what was the vow that everyone took on Varalakshmi Vratam? Ladies, many of you did Varalakshmi Vratam. You do Varalakshmi Vratam, Madhavi? I know my sister and Shobna did.
Yes, sir.
Is it
Huh?
is it about treating all the women as goddess whoever comes to the house? Is that what?
I don't know.
Uh,
I don't know. I'm just asking this question. What is the Vratam?
Pratham means like oath kind of thing.
Yeah, but there has to be a learning also in that. What is the oath? What is the you are making a vow?
Yeah.
Yes, you are making a promise. What is that promise?
Promise is on this is Shravana Sukravaram. On
Hmm.
every end of Shravana Masam, we will do this puja like in the home and we put the kalasham and whatever available and because of our financial things, you can put silver or gold the kalasham and everything. Even if you cannot afford the silver, you can put the pot one. Pot
Oh, yeah.
collection to the simple whatever is you can, don't go for extension like okay you have to do that means okay buy silver pot on that day and do it. No need of doing like that. Whatever you can afford, do the puja with bhakti and um, all the devotion and call somebody and give tambulam and see Ammuvaru in that person.
Okay.
Mhm.
And see the and
Godness
see
in,
the divine in them.
yeah, in person, whoever you call them.
That is the vow actually.
Mhm.
That's what Sharanya was saying. That
Mm.
is the vow.
Mm.
All other things are all external things. Okay.
Mm.
This is the most important thing. Seeing the divine in everyone.
Mm.
What does that mean? Seeing the divine in everyone means, what does it mean? I mean, you don't have to answer. Not only you, anybody can answer. Seeing divine in everyone means accepting everyone as they are. Accepting everyone as a chitta. The problem that we have in not accepting others is we see them as that body. See them as the chitta. See them as a software. The chitta has come to do certain things, so it is going to behave that way. Accept that. Accepting that is accepting them as divine. It is not necessary to fall at their feet, seek their blessings, and then after they leave, then we start gossiping about them. What use is that? So accepting each person as they are is that is the actual vow. Vratam is for that. Shobhu and Akka, you get it?
Yes.
Yes,
So this,
yes.
yes. So this is what we are studying all through. Acceptance, acceptance, acceptance. Being an observer. So this is the Vratam. Until the next Varalakshmi Vratam, I will see everyone as divine. So for 1 year. Then again the next year you renew it for another year. This happens all through the lifetime. Okay. So we have seen Jati Desha Kala Samaya Anavichannaha Sarvabhauma Mahavratam. So these are universally, what is these? The Yama, the principles of Yama are universally applicable, great observances, Mahavratam, great observances that are not different, broken or separated, broken or separated by race or community, country, era, or time. It has been there 10,000 years back, 20,000 years back, ever since this universe came into play, these have been there. That's what it means. Right? Everyone understood this?
Yes.
Okay. Next one. Shaucha Santosha Tapaha Swadhyaya Ishvara Pranidhanani Niyamaha. So next he is saying, what is Niyama? Shaucha Santosha Tapaha Swadhyaya Ishvara Pranidhanani Niyamaha. Of these five, we have already seen Tapaha, Swadhyaya and Ishvara Pranidhanani in Sutra number 1 of this chapter. Everyone recall that? Tapaha, Swadhyaya, Ishvara Pranidhanani, Kriya Yoga, we said in Sutra number 1. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
And it is not surprising. We are seeing the same three here because we are talking about Niyama. Niyama, I said, is a schedule that you follow every day, right? Kriya Yoga is a yoga of action. Niyama is also action, everyday action on a schedule, correct? So that is why these three have come back. We have come back to the same three here. So Shaucha, Santosha are the two things that we have not seen. So we will see them. And then quickly we will see the other three also. Shaucha is the external meaning is cleanliness, right? The external meaning is really cleanliness. But if you look deeper, it is actually not just external cleanliness, it is internal cleanliness. Internal cleanliness. Yes, somebody said something? Okay. So internal cleanliness here we are talking about or the vibrations or the gunas. The gunas that are flowing through us, being aware of them, being an observer. That is why at home, especially in Brahmin families, because they do rituals every day, almost on a regular basis, whether during Sandhya Vandana or to the morning puja or some special pujas like, Ganesh Chaturthi, Varalakshmi Vratam, and so many other things, Durga Puja, Saraswati Puja, and all these various things. The person who is going to do this, he will take a bath, clean himself, do whatever Sandhya Vandana, etc. he has to do, and then he will get ready for the puja. And if somebody comes and touches him, then immediately he will go and he'll go and take a bath again. So these things are done by the temple priests also. That's why they keep a safe distance. They don't touch people. They don't let people touch them. This is because they don't want to. They have taken a bath, they have cleansed themselves, they have done some chanting, they have done some meditation, and they have raised their level and come to a state of sattva guna. And there are other things that are flowing too, but they have come to a point of being pure observers, and they don't want to absorb or get negative vibrations. And that's why they don't let people come. They don't let people come too close to them. We normally, but this is normally mistaken, normally not understood. It is for the sake of vibration. You don't want negative vibration entering you. It has nothing to do with the clothes or anything like that. It is not the external impurity. It is the internal impurity. Understand, Madhavi? Difficult. Difficult. It is not touching the. It is not touching the trash can that makes a person dirty. No.
Mm.
It is a vibration. The vibrations are the gunas.
Mm.
So Patanjali Muni is saying, not Subramanian Kumar. Patanjali Muni is saying this.
Mm.
So unless we are open and we receive this as it is coming from the divine, only then we can move forward. So that is what Shaucha is all about. That internal cleanliness. Then what is the other one? Santosha. Santosha means actually contentment. Only when you are contented, there will be santosha. So we were all very contented at home while young. And we had only maybe 5 pairs of dresses. The other day I was saying in the class, we had only 5 pairs of dresses and everything fit in one small cupboard for the entire family. This is how we lived for nearly 20 years. Or at least for a good 15 years. Actually, my sister, when she went to college, it will be very predictable. Monday, one sari, Tuesday, another sari, Thursday, Wednesday, another sari. So 5 saris for 5 days. Next Monday, she'll be wearing the same sari. So, we were quite happy. Yeah, in 365 days, I have seen this at home. That's why I'm saying this. So there has to be so much of that. Did I go to that place last year wearing this sari? Then you don't want to wear this sari. Because somebody might say, Lata, did you not wear this sari? They might ask my wife. So then I cut a sorry figure, right? Whereas when we grew up, definitely my sister's friends would have said, what is this Lakshmi you're wearing? The same sari every Monday. I'm sorry, I'm laughing because I feel it's very humorous. I mean, this is how we grew up. So, but that contentment, that joy was there. That happiness was there. We were contented. Okay. So we have seen all this. Shaucha, Santosha, Tapaha. So tapas is that meditation, because with that meditation comes that heat which will demagnetize the unwanted programs like what? Karma, kleshas. That is why that meditation is needed. Swadhyaya is self-study. Self-study, pondering, all that. And in self-study also, becoming an observer. This and slowly becoming from self-study from books and hearing from people, the self-study has to come from inside. That is the real self-study. The realizations and revelations have to come from inside. And Ishvara Pranidhanani, that is surrender to the divine. Many times I have said, just doing pujas alone is not surrender. Acceptance of anything at any time is Ishvara Pranidhana is surrendered to the divine. Accepting others as divine. That is your Varalakshmi Vratam. It is not only on that day, every day. Until the next Varalakshmi Vratam comes, you again renew with vigor that observance. It is all there in our culture. Only thing is, everything we have made it into gold pot, silver pot, putting coins, all that. And we have forgotten about the actual meaning. This is true for everyone. Buying flowers, decorating, and my decoration is better than her decoration, that comparison. And even in our house, we'll say, last year's decoration was better than this year's, or this year's decoration is better than last year. All these things. So, giving up all that is Ishvara Pranidhana, having complete surrender to the divine. So this is these five: Shaucha, Santosha, Tapaha, Swadhyaya, Ishvara Pranidhanani. These are the 5 observances of Niyama. That is, this is what you have to do on a daily basis. So that is why, if you look, especially if you look at the Brahmin families, these are actually built in from a very young age. So morning, as soon when we were all young, as soon as we get up, go brush your teeth. No coffee, no tea, no milk, nothing until that time. Not only that, you have to come back, put vibhuti on your forehead, and then you have to say a few slokas. Only then that cup of milk will be ready. Until my mother has to hear that, because the kitchen and puja room are next to each other. She has to hear that. She will say, "Oh, Kumar, I didn't hear you say, I didn't hear you saying that sloka. I have to do it again." So that kind of a schedule. So then it becomes automatic in you. And at some point of time, you start paying attention, becoming aware of all these slokas, what you're saying, understanding the meaning. When you're young, you don't understand the meaning. That is fine. But as you grow older, you start understanding the meaning, and you say it with that bhava. That bhavam in Tamil we say. So that schedule has to be there. So this is why people working in different shifts, it's very, very difficult for them, because 2 days they are in day shift, next then they are in the afternoon shift, morning shift, afternoon shift, and then few days later they are in night shift for a couple of days. So the entire schedule is thrown haywire. Very difficult to follow the niyama. And even if they are following some niyama, it is only that they are doing it as an external thing, as a practice they are doing, not with full intent and awareness. It is necessary to have this schedule. This schedule is one which will make you an observer. This schedule is one which will make you an experiencer, because this is actually the abhyasa, the practice. He said, right? Abhyasa is Nairantarya, Dirgha Kala Nairantarya Satkara Sevito. That's what we call this. That's what will make it Dhrida Bhumihi. So, Dirgha Kala, for a long period of time, all through this life, whatever my parents taught me, it is there with me all through the life. Morning, first thing in the morning, by 7 o'clock, have a shower. That's how it used to be. So all these things stay with you all through your life. So let's move on to
Excuse me.
yes.
Like after yama and niyama, the other words, so asana, pranayama. So uh, should I
Yeah, we will see all those.
later?
Yeah, yama niyama we are
Yes.
seeing in detail. Yeah, each one will be there. Yes.
Okay. And also, I want to know for 30,
Yes.
Ahimsa Satya, that meaning of that.
Ahimsa Satya.
Uh,
Satya is truthfulness, speaking the truth. Truthfulness, you have to be very careful. Truthfulness means speaking the truth in such a way that doesn't hurt others.
Aprigraha.
Asteya. Aparigraha. Aparigraha means possessing. Possessing meaning wanting to grab things from others. See what these politicians do. You have 10 acres, they will come and threaten you and say, I'm taking 5 acres. And they'll say, we will give you the market price. But they won't give you the market price. They will give you 1/100th of the market price. Or they won't. And then you cannot even go to the court because they have gundas. So that is aparigraha, taking away others' things. Or becoming, or that feeling of wanting others' things.
Yamaha also, please.
Yamaha means these 5 are called Yama. Yama means being true to your conscience. Being true to your conscience.
Okay, thank you.
So quickly I will tell you, Yama, Niyama, we have not seen each one in more detail. We'll see. Each one he's going to give a sutra for each of them. Ahimsa is going to give a sutra. Satya is going to give a sutra. We're going to see all that. Asanas we know. Hatha yoga we call as asanas, right? Normally people, when you say yoga, people always think of asana. They don't think of anything else. Unfortunately, because that is the physical part, it is easy to do. So people don't think of anything else. So Hatha yoga is actually asanas. Pranayama, that is the control of breath. You know that pranayama. Pratyahara is actually getting control of the senses. Indriyas, jnanendriyas, everything, getting control of the senses. It really means becoming aware of the vibrations. So you become aware of the vibrations, and then when that connectivity happens, you can get the control of the vibrations also. Through the divine grace, the control of the vibrations, the control of the flow of energy. You can, one can direct the flow of energy into various parts of the body. Those kinds of things can happen. That is actually pratyahara. Dharana is that single pointed focus. You have seen sutras. In chapter 1, we saw how to get that dharana, right? We saw many sutras. You can focus on a lamp. You can focus on anything that you like as a picture, as a person, an elevated soul, all that we saw, as sutras we saw. That is dharana, to get that single pointed focus. Dhyana is the stage where you let go. Dhyana is
Let
when
go
you're
and meditation are the same.
Dharana
Let
is that
go and
dharana is that single pointed focus.
Yeah, dhyana means let go and meditation are the same.
No, here I'm saying letting go here means you have a question in your head. You started with that question in dharana. In dhyana, you submit it to the divine. You are letting go. And in samadhi, you will get that answer back. Actually, dharana, dhyana, samadhi, these 3 together is called samyama process. We'll see all that in chapter 3 in Vibhuti-pada.
Okay.
Dr. Rajan will do this all the time. I don't know if he did it yesterday.
He did it, sir.
Oh, he did it. Okay.
Yeah.
So you saw it in person. Okay, very good.
Yeah.
So we will stop here and start with 233, starting with the 233 next week.
Yeah.
So if you look at the notes, you see the niyamas are cleanliness, contentment activities that burn karma patterns. That's what we saw as tapas, right? Tapas burns away all this klesha karma and all these sanskaras. Those are the patterns that are there in our head, and we burn them through tapas. And also through karma klesha techniques. It can also be done through pranayama. Dr. Rajan was here a few weeks back when he did the karma klesha cleansing. I sent flyers to everyone. So that is those are all things that one can do. Self-study, we know self-inquiry. It is not just reading the book alone, but pondering and getting that realization inside of us.